like not even the archives is still, they literally got rid of everything. Hello everyone, welcome back to Two Buds One Podcast, episode 24. I hope that's right. Episode 24. I am your host, the Techno Jelly, here with my co-host Alchem Games. Alchem is very tired right now, but that's okay.
Wait, hold on. There we go.
He's cracking
Much
open
better.
a cold one with the boys. And today, I've got multiple. I was talking about it in the behind the scenes stuff to this week to this podcast. I have like 4.5 stories because one of the stories is kind of like a play on the other story, and I'm gonna start with that one because it's kind of sad, and I don't know if you saw it. I think it happened today or yesterday. It happened recently, relatively recently, and that is Game Informer is officially shut down.
Good, Rid. I mean, oh, that sucks.
I mean, I think whether or not people use Game Informer or not, you know, it sucks that something is shut down after so long. It's the longest lasting gaming magazine, 33 years going, which it does suck, I would say. To be fair, like, I never read it. I never read any of the gaming magazines. I don't know if you did at all, but like, I basically never did.
I only read a little bit from it, mostly from like Gaber, what is it called? I forget the name of the GameStop membership. They're like, here, you get a free Game Informer magazine subscription with it.
Yeah.
Like, cool. And it came to my mail originally, but then it just stopped because I stopped subscribing to it.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think it stopped sending the magazines, or I think it just became digital, or no.
It became digital, I'm pretty sure. At some point. In the latter half of 2010s, shifting to a focus on online-based content. Yeah.
But apparently, though, from what I've heard from others, it just the level of quality when it came to the articles and stuff that they talked about started to become lackluster, and it just became an advertiser-filled magazine. It just had ads and ads and ads, and none of them were, or fewer and far between when they related to any game stuff.
Yeah, it got very remembering Game Informer is something that, you know, get some people losing jobs always sucks, but Game Informer since like 2010, people would argue, or like 2000, like early 2010s, Game Informer past that, it probably should have been shut down anyway because it was kind of bad and no one cared and no one really used it and it was bleeding money. And people don't even understand why, like, GameStop had so many problems. The last thing... What? Sorry, I don't know if anyone can hear that, but I'm getting an Amber Alert. It's okay. Okay. I'm not in danger. It's okay. So, like, it's one of those things where it does suck. Because, you know... It's gaming history. The biggest thing I have a problem with is everything is gone. Like, the history of Game Informer is gone. Like, the website, like not even the archives is still, they literally got rid of everything. So like you can't even like install unless it's the physical editions, everything is gone. Which I have there's some problem. I have a problem with that. Like,
what record? There's no historical value to all that. No one wants to have a record or anything of anything like, you know, gaming.
Yeah.
No archiving, art history, nothing.
Like I think there are some archives of some things, but it's just unless it was backed up from some third party, most of it's gone.
It's just very surprising that we, despite like previous generations being like, damn, truly wish I had a way to preserve these memories or these moments, we have that now, and yet we're not even trying to keep it. Some companies and stuff are trying to physically get rid of it, their history. I wonder why.
True. Well, to be fair, GameStop, it's not like it has a good reputation to begin with. I've never liked GameStop. I don't know about you. Even before they became scumbags. Actually, they were kind of always scumbags. As a company, not the people working at GameStop. I'm just talking about the corporation GameStop. The people working at GameStop, they got to do what they got to do. But I don't blame the employees for company policy, but man, were those company policies bad.
I blame them for for me turning in like 7 games, and they're
Oh
like,
no,
"I'll give you $20 for it."
dude, they gave you $20. That's insane.
Right?
The highest
One of
I've
them
the
was like
highest
brand new.
the highest I've ever gotten from GameStop, it was store credit worth $5. My mom still hasn't gotten over it. She's my mom is offended for me. She still remembers the GameStop credit stuff. Like I'm pretty sure there was like my mom was about to she was about to crawl over the table. She was going to go Hulk on the GameStop employees because of how like we were trying to turn in like 20 games. We were literally those people that were like, we're gonna give in all these old games and get some couple new games, and they offered us like $4. And my mom was so angry. Not like it's also my mom, so she wasn't like yelling, being a Karen or anything like that. She was just like, what? And then they repeated it, and then she just said, we're leaving. Probably the angriest I've ever seen my mom, especially as a kid.
I mean, I'd be so pissed too, because like I mean, as a parent, you're the one who bought the damn things.
Yeah.
They were like 50 to 60 a pop.
Yep.
And then to just suddenly return them thinking, oh good, it might just be like you might get half the value, maybe a fourth of the value. No, you get like pennies to the games. You're like, oh, okay. Damn, I paid $70 for this. Just to see how low in value or how little it retains its own worth. But that's video games for you.
Yeah, I mean, luckily the Wayback Machine does exist, so I'm sure there's a decent amount of the articles still there. But like the Wayback Machine isn't perfect, of course.
Only so much when you're a third party trying to keep everything.
I mean, to be fair,
record.
The Wayback Machine, is that Google? What is the Wayback Machine run? Who's that run by?
Wayback. I don't exactly know who it is, but it's not.
Who is?
I mean, I can look it up right now.
Wayback Machine. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, it's just Internet Archive. Okay.
Yeah, it should be Internet Archive.
I honestly thought this was Google that did this.
No.
Or maybe I'm thinking of like Google Books and stuff like that. Like there are Google versions of something similar to the Wayback Machine. Yeah, okay. So the Wayback Machine is a what's it called? A third-party archive site.
All I know it's a third-party archive that is actually
I don't know why I thought
due diligence to keep track of everything, or at least keep an archive of everything. Most things. Well,
I mean, like I said, it's a third-party company, so they can only do so much. But to be fair, they do a lot. Like some of the video essays I've watched on gaming stuff are just full of Wayback Machine searches and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was really sad to hear, even though I'm not necessarily pointing out connected to it. But the main reason I wanted to talk about this, Alchem, wasn't because of.
I mean, the historical value.
The historical value is significant, and the fact that
the quality value kind of.
I mean, quality is a subjective thing, and the problem is that those styles of like gaming magazines, as soon as the internet became a thing, they became a money sink for a lot of these companies, and they just didn't give them up. Like, for instance, PC Gamer still does the gaming magazine stuff technically, but like they do it in a much better way, from what I remember. Like, it's not like they're just, it's more of a side thing that if people want some nostalgia hits, they can look at some of the OG PC Gamer magazine stuff, and they still do some new ones, but like, yeah.
I mean, I'm like hindsight right now, but I feel like what would have been the best move for a lot of those companies were to at least take their reviews, take their stuff, and put it in like video formatting, because they have the writers who are writing this stuff anyway. Why not just have a nice voice alongside it and post videos on YouTube at the time? And some of them are trying,
yeah, that's what a lot of them tried. Game Trailers tried that.
Mm-hmm.
a lot. But the
Game
problem,
Trailers definitely tried
it
that.
just didn't work. Now they're Easy Alliance, and they're just killing it on Patreon with as Easy
Mhm.
Alliance. I watch their stuff all
Yeah.
the time, actually. Their game reviews are really useful. Also, their coverage of like the Totally Not E3 conferences are very funny. um, sorry, my throat is dying all of a sudden. But like I said, one of the reasons I wanted to cover this is because of side things that I felt kind of weird to mention these stories, but not also mention, by the way, the reason this is happening is because Game Informer, the reason this is funny or kind of sad is because Game Informer is being shut down. Is that okay? The first one is sad, but like also really funny because it just shows how stupid GameStop is. So someone, we don't know who, got access to the official Game Informer Twitter account, right? And you can't see this anymore. And it says they tweeted, it was a former employee. Our 33-year legacy deserves a genuine goodbye, written by a former Game Informer member. We're heartbroken by the shutdown of our publication, yet we leave with pride knowing we poured everything we had into it. In the words of our editors-in-chief, be well, play well. And it had the credits of basically everyone that was in Game Informer at the time, before the shutdown, right?
Yeah.
So this was
That sounds nice.
not supposed to happen.
Wait. Oh.
Right? This was someone gaining access, a former employee of Game Informer gaining access to the current Twitter account and posting this thing. This was not approved in any way by GameStop. You are GameStop, or Alchem. What do you do? What do you do?
Okay,
This happens.
If I was GameStop, then
You are
I would be
GameStop.
like, I would put a formal. I would do a formal reply just saying, retracting that statement. That was not part of us. We didn't say that. We would never say that. Something like that.
It honestly, not nuclear enough, Alchem, because what they did is they deleted the Game Informer Twitter account. It doesn't exist anymore.
Wow,
They straight up deleted the. If you go on Twitter right now and search up Game Informer, they don't exist.
Holy crap! Just because of that, damn. Okay.
Just because of that tweet, we don't know if that was because of the tweet or not, or if that was part of the deleting of the tweet. The Twitter account was going to be a part of the plan or not. But like, it's so funny that they had this. The Game Informer employees had this heartfelt, thank you. Thank you for the people who are still reading and stuff like that, and then the entire Twitter account gets deleted. Like
they probably
a couple hours
because it got
later.
compromised.
Probably, like there's like two or three, general like reactions, or not reactions. Sorry, like plans that were probably happened here. Is that this was the plan all along to delete this account, and it just so happens that the time that they're deleting the account happened to be around the same time, or like within the same time frame, or this was just a panic button, or something somewhere in between where they were going to delete it, and then because this happened, they did it faster. Because that could definitely be
so malicious.
It like GameStop is such a bad company. They're such a terrible company. Yes. Like, oh my god, man. It's just so hilariously bad. Okay, now, like I said, there's a bunch of stories based on Game Informer and stuff like that, or a couple of them at least. The next one is, first I have to ask a question, which I actually don't know. I don't know what your answer is going to be. Have you played any of the Dragon Age games?
No.
Have you had any interest in them at all?
A little.
A little, yeah. Well, yeah. Alchem, did you know that there is the new one coming out soon, right? Dragon Age Valgard. But like, okay, maybe you want to play this new one. So like you want to go look up like interviews, marketing stuff, trailers, all that type of good stuff, right? Take a guess which gaming website had exclusive rights for Dragon Age Valgard.
Are you kidding me? Are you?
Game Informer had exclusive coverage for Dragon Age Valgard, which has all been deleted. All the marketing for that game is now gone.
Oh my god.
Basically everything. Like if you type in I typed in Dragon Age Valgard, all of it is linked to dead links. Like there's still a couple that are out there. Like for instance, they have obviously their official YouTube channel and all that type of stuff, and there are some official like other things. But the majority of the links link to a Game Informer website that doesn't exist anymore, or a Game Informer Twitter account that doesn't exist anymore.
This is such a shit show because it's making now it's making other companies just look like clowns at this point.
Yeah. So that was just a mess.
Holy crap. Oh, all right.
Yeah. So that one's just sad. Though I do want to say apparently one of the employees actually offered their little 2 cents just to clear like not necessarily I guess what's the word I'm looking for? A clarification kind of.
Okay.
Because the person who tweeted this, realizing Game Informer had exclusive coverage rights for Dragon Age Valgard, literally all the pre-release marketing info and interviews are dead. And someone that is a former video lead for Game Informer, who also worked at a Giant Bomb and stuff like that too. So he's been around the gaming media. He said, "I want to offer a little clarification regarding rights. We operated on a good faith and verbal agreements. There are plenty of time publishers promised something and backed out. Game Informer didn't charge anyone for coverage stories, nor did we ever make anyone sign anything." So like, technically they didn't have exclusive rights, but they just like they were the only ones that were covering it for a long time.
It was like an honor system kind of thing.
It's kind of an honor system, and like it just depends on who the company does this stuff with, and it's just like. I feel bad for the devs. All those dev interviews and all that type of stuff. Like a lot of people care about that stuff. It's like, what do the devs think? And now it's just all gone, which is not looking good for that. So to continue the sad times, I have another question for you, Alchem.
What's the question?
Did you play the Mario and Sonic games? The Mario and Sonic at Olympic Games?
I only played 1 or 2, but I'm so familiar with where this is going.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Go on. Let's break the good news to everyone.
The good news. It is, well, I mean, it's bad news. It's bad
if
news.
You like that game.
Yeah, it's true. It's bad news if you like the game, because it turns out that the reason the game doesn't, like the Mario and Sonic games don't come out anymore is because the International Olympics Committee chose not to renew the license because they wanted to look at other partners for the Olympic license, specifically NFT and esports. First of all, I don't know. Okay. NFT, hilariously bad. Rolling on the floor, laughing, so funny, I'm going to die. But before I start making fun of the people for the NFTs, I also don't agree with esports. Which might be a controversial, considering I play a lot of video games and I play a lot of competitive games. And I mean, like, you and I play competitive games, different competitive style of competitive games, but like, I don't know, I don't agree with video games being in the Olympics, so I just don't think esports should be involved at all. Not because I don't think it's competition, but because it's very different. I don't know. This might be a whole different conversation. Maybe you want to hold that off for a second. I don't know. It's up to you, Alchem. I don't know how much I don't know how much you got to
you
say.
don't you want to be? Don't you want to have a future in the Olympics as a God, what event? Oh wait, weren't they gonna do the like virtual, but it's just like skeet shoot and some of the other kind of just
Yeah, well, I think that's
mundane
stupid.
gaming things?
I think that's really
Yeah,
stupid. Like
yeah,
if
that's really dumb.
if you're doing, that's the last thing I would want
Hmm.
for video games in the Olympics. I don't think video games should be in the Olympics. Simply for the fact that like, okay, when I think of Olympics, it's not even that it's not sport. It's not. I'm not even arguing whether or not it's a sport or not. You know, but things like basketball, swimming, even shooting, like even the target shooting, skiing, snowboarding, those sports don't change year by year.
Yeah.
You know, like even if you're going to play, even if you're going to put in the Olympics the like the oldest esports games,
Hmm.
like Counter-Strike and like League of Legends, I would argue are probably the two biggest standing esports in the world. I think that's not, I think that's safe to say, right?
Yeah,
Those
that is
games
definitely safe.
those
Hmm.
games are so different. Even just a year ago, like the top play, like you're not gonna have a Usain Bolt version of
Or like,
any esports people.
Jelly, just imagine if this like yeah, you get to the Olympics for playing I don't know, just virtual basketball,
Yeah,
and you're training all these years waiting for the next Olympics. 4 years go by, the Olympics come out. They put out a note that says patch notes for the update to the game they're using.
yeah, I
Every
know,
single
right?
person just starts breaking down in tears.
I mean, it's not even just that. It's just like what if I don't know. There's just so many problems that I have with video games being in the Olympics because of the nature of esports. I think esports should be taking a little bit more like competition in video games should be taken a little bit more seriously, I think. And I unfortunately don't think people like Blizzard helped at all, or Riot kind of helps. Valve I helps a little bit, but like the last company that I would want to try to help in esports is the Olympics, because one of the biggest problems of the Olympics is that it's just a money drain. And
Yep.
like I just don't think the funniest thing to me is that I don't think, like, let's say League of Legends gets put into the Olympics, right? I don't see
Mhm.
any of the big teams going there because there's no money in it. You don't win money when you go to the Olympics, right?
It's
Like there's
not
no,
teams, no.
like, unless you have sponsors. Like the only thing I can see the benefit of like companies being totally cool with sponsoring esports teams for the Olympics specifically, but only that. That's the only benefit
Yeah.
I would see, because I don't see regular companies being okay with that, like outside of something like the Olympics, because like there's so many problems with getting sponsors for esports teams right now that aren't like energy drink companies basically, unless you're in South Korea, but everywhere else is basically only energy drinks or PC, or like the pre-built PC people. Other than that, I don't think anyone else. But yeah, I don't think maybe that's a hot take overall. I don't know.
Mm,
I don't think video games should be in the Olympics. I also hate
controversial
the Olympics to begin with, but like, you know. Okay, let me rephrase that. I hate the company that runs the Olympics. I don't I think the Olympics is a good like, I like the idea of the Olympics, of, country-based sports competitions, all that type of stuff. I'm totally cool with that. I hate the fact that it's like a money drain on everything, and it destroys cities because it's so expensive. And like, to be fair, they're actually apparently really hurting for that too. Apparently, they're one of the
I
reasons
know.
why it was in Paris this year is because it was one of two cities that offered.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Like the bastardization of what the Olympics have become today
Yeah,
is a joke because they come in, they bring a lot of tourism and money to the country that's hosting it, but then when they're gone, well, there's also the giant cost of production, the giant cost of like building the
It's
infrastructure and
mostly
building
the
the
infrastructure.
event and everything.
The amount
Yeah,
of
and then when it's done,
the amount of tourism they bring doesn't cover the cost of building like the 5 billion
no, no,
stadiums they need.
not at all. And then when they're done and gone, and everyone's gone away, that stuff's still there. It's not a
Yep.
temporary stadium. It wasn't a temporary coliseum. It was there with the intention to stay and last, and there's no use for it
I don't
because
know.
this country, for some countries, they had no reason for it.
Yep. I don't know if
Except
you've
for the
ever.
Olympics.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, Alchem,
Hmm?
but the Vancouver Winter Olympics that happened a while ago. Looking at those stadiums nowadays is so sad. It's just
It's sad.
It's
Yeah,
a,
because,
it's
no,
a
they're broken down,
well, what's it called? There's a term for it, like an urban,
run down,
like
abandoned.
an urban it's an urban playground basically, because it's just
Oh,
abandoned building. It's like an entire, basically it's a small abandoned city. Like
yeah.
it's just so sad. It's such a waste.
Because it was only made for one singular purpose, and when that purpose was
Like,
gone, it was never going to come again,
if
and
the
they had no other
Olympics
reason to use it.
if the Olympics had a permanent place, I'd be more okay with the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, like if like every 4 years everyone goes to the same spot and say this is where the Olympics is held, in this place.
That'd probably be a lot better for a lot of other countries too, and a
Yeah.
lot of other people. Well, for tourism especially, because they only have to go to one place, one locale.
And then you could, even while the Olympics isn't going, you could also use that thing for tourism for the next, or marketing for the next Olympics. I don't know. It just sounds so much better, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Olympic NFTs.
Oh my God, no! Don't start on that. Yeah, that is the reason
that's
why
the
we
other.
lost.
That's the I can't,
That's
that's so funny, man.
So we were originally on about Sonic and Mario at the Olympics. The
Yep.
sad news is they're gone. Why are they gone?
NFTs.
Yeah, because apparently the Olympic Committee thinks that they can make more profit with NFTs and what are those stupid? Well, no, those are NFTs.
Those are NFTs, yeah, the non-fungible
Yeah.
tokens.
Yeah,
Which I
yeah,
don't
and
even know what the idea is. Like,
I honestly
would
I
you
don't
be
know.
even
The
selling
Olympic
as
mascot for each state, NFTs of each Olympic mascot for each country. And I'm like, no one gives a shit about the mascots after the Olympics are done. It's just like
Wait,
just
do
like
they have
flavor of the month thing.
mascots?
Yeah, each country has their own shitty little mascot. Sorry for the swearing, but
I
each
actually-
country has their own mascot.
Funny
and
thing is, I
then
didn't even
that's
know
it.
that. I didn't even know that. I need to search up Canadian Olympic
Yeah,
mascot.
each one. Japan had one. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a moose.
Beijing had
That
one.
makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. It's a moose.
Each one
with
is just something related to their country. Yeah, in Canada, of course, it had to be a moose.
has a moose with like the Canadian maple leaf. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know this was a thing. Huh.
There's so many different things that they did. and
Yeah, I
it
guess
was
you could sell
weird, it was
NFTs of
goofy.
those, I guess.
They're like, why?
Because you
Like,
don't want to sell.
why?
Oh god, I hope they don't try to sell NFTs of like the athletes. That would be awful. That's actually worse, in my opinion.
Don't you like that? There's
That's
also
weird.
some of the, oh my god, because some countries had repeats. They've had like dogs. Apparently, Montreal. Back in 1976, Canada had a beaver.
makes
I'm
sense.
looking at the ones that you
Yeah, that makes
like.
sense.
What is going on?
I mean,
And
look,
I'm pretty sure that's what they're gonna do
the mascots are honestly,
for the players.
yeah, the athletes or the
The
mascots,
athletes,
I
just
guess.
players. I say players. They're athletes.
I mean, they're players too. You could argue that they're
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, but that's
Uh,
what they're gonna do. NFTs of the athletes because
Yeah.
oh god, they actually because they signed they probably knowing how shady and how bad the
Olympics
like,
are.
the bad side the like business side of it is. They probably have a thing where they signed away their
Yeah, I hope
like their likeness or stuff
if they start doing
during the Olympics.
yeah, if they start doing NFTs, I hope every single athlete gets a lawyer immediately. Like, That needs to be stopped, man.
Um,
Some of the richer athletes need to start like hiring lawyers and start lawsuiting them all. Oh God, it happens though. It happens. So that was so that's a thing that I wish I didn't know that happened, and I think I've lost brain cells since I've known that this happened. Because you know what the funny thing is, Alchem? One of the reasons I found this out is when the Olympics started happening this year. I was like, didn't they used to do Mario and Sonic Olympic Games? It's been a while, hasn't it? And I searched it up, and then I found this, and I was like, I'm so sad that I looked this up because I think I was happier not knowing the answer.
You would have been in peaceful blissful ignorance, not knowing, never playing again, never playing another of those games again, being like, oh yeah, we live in an era where that is a thing and that is cool, and then you find out the horrible truth that oh no, it got canceled, and for worse, NFTs.
Yeah, it's just, oh my God, man.
It's the greatest news ever.
All right. Moving on from something that makes me sad to something that makes me confused. And I think we've talked about this before, Alchem, but I want to hear what your definition of this phrase is. Okay? What is a dead game to you?
Among Us. Dead game? No, okay. A dead game is okay. In my eyes, a dead game for an online game is when it literally takes you more than like 7 minutes just to find matchmaking.
Okay.
Skill-based or otherwise. Skill-based matchmaking or otherwise. If it takes you far longer, like if it takes you enough time to make like in like a freaking hot pocket, then it's a dead game.
Yeah. Okay.
And or worse, if it's just lets you play, like it loads up a game and it's quick and everything, but you can immediately tell it's all bots.
Yeah.
And not like what TF2's bot shenanigans were, where it was just like aim botting stuff. What I mean is like, the game AI, which is like mediocre AI. Playing style and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. What about a not online, like not a PvP online game?
That's okay. I was gonna say that is unapplicable because those are never intended to be online to be considered a dead game, because that's essentially, I see it like it's a toy at that point, because you pick it up, you play with it when you like, and you're done. It did its purpose. It's not constantly having to be online. It doesn't rely on a community. It doesn't rely on there being a online competitive environment. It doesn't need any of that because it serves its purpose right there and then. So
interesting.
For an offline only game that has a beginning, middle, and end and everything, and you can always replay it for whatever value you choose to give it, I could never really call it a dead game. It's like when you go and rewatch a movie for like the 1,000th time.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So the reason I was asking all these questions, Alchem, is because of Palworld. Because it, for whatever reason, again, everyone started talking about how Palworld is a dead game. And now probably because of the update. Because it wasn't reaching the concurrent player count as it was before on release and stuff. Now, Alchem, this dead game was getting 52,000 players 24-hour peak daily. And people said this is a dead game.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? What? Like, I think it's like, you guys have been so brainwashed by Fortnite's numbers that you think 50,000, it's the 50,000 players every day for a single player, or like a non-competitive always online multiplayer game. Like, to be fair, there is multiplayer in Palworld, but like, it's not like PvP. Like, you're not, it's co-op. And it's like this game
We talked
is
about it
killing
before,
it right
though.
now.
Yeah, we talked about it before. It's like everyone's been brainwashed into thinking that numbers mean a lot when it comes to every game.
I mean, my
Like
numbers do
every
mean a
game
lot.
needs to have. But what I mean is, in terms of it's considered a dead game
Yeah.
with certain factors or certain numbers, when in reality, it's not that at all. It's just that maybe there's a ebb and flow to it. Like there, of course, people are going to be crazy for a game day one, especially if it's like advertised well. It is good. It looks good. There are good reviews and everything, and it looks appealing. But of course, day one, it's always going to be amazing. And then after a while, it dips because everyone's had their fun. Everyone's done with it. There's another game on the horizon. That's it. And then another wave comes back of people coming back for either DLC, nostalgia, or whatever.
Yeah.
Heck, there's even those rare moments where like a popular streamer of the month comes in out of nowhere, plays it just for fun, and all of a sudden everyone just picks it up again, and it just sees a slight boost in sales or boost in numbers again.
I mean, to be fair, that's how
happens.
Among Us just became like that's how Among Us became like the game for 2020.
Yeah.
Like it was that game was actually a dead game.
Everyone really thought it was amazing, but then they kind of forgot that the game wasn't as amazing. It was the people and personalities that played it that made it as amazing.
Among Us is still a good
don't get
game.
me wrong. It has a great structure and everything.
The problem with Among Us is what you just said. The game is simple.
Yeah.
So eventually you do like the game runs a course and you kind of wait for an update. And then to be fair, whenever there's an update to Among Us, everyone's like, "Damn, this game's fun." I'm like, "Guys, like." Or like I love it when I see people saying, like, I love it when people say, "Oh man, Among Us is a good game again." I'm like, what do you mean good game again? Like it's always a good game. You just played it every single day for 5 hours for like 3 months, and this game is not designed to do that. I play Among Us like once or twice a year, and it's a great game for that. Like I to be fair, understandably, content creators are different, but like the people I'm talking about weren't content creators. You know, they were just people talking about it online, and I'm like, guys, it's because these games aren't like, take a break from it, play a different game or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, the thing I was gonna say about the numbers thing is that numbers can say a lot, but the people are forgetting that video games aren't a singular, like you can't define a video game by a singular statement for every single video game. Like, and success is very different because like if someone told me Fortnite had 50,000 players daily, I'd be like, damn, what happened to Fortnite? That's really low. You know, yeah, people would say Fortnite fell off, you know, but like insert any multiplayer game that isn't Fortnite basically, and like, okay, that's not like one of the big like League, Fortnite, I guess Call of Duty on PC. Like, yeah, I was gonna say Call of Duty, but then again, 50,000 players on Call of Duty is actually good now because Call of Duty sucks.
No, you just reminded me of something that I want to talk about later, unless it's one of the topics you want to talk about, because you mentioned Fortnite.
Oh yeah, okay. Well then let me finish up this story because the reason part of the reason I also brought that up is the lead developer of Palworld actually spoke up about this, which is the new thing, because you and I have talked about this whole, like, it's really, and for some reason it's always about Palworld, the people talking about dead games. I'm like, this game isn't made to be played, and that's literally what he said. He said Bucky, which is apparently one of the lead developers, I think. Palworld community manager John Bucky Buckley, that's funny, explains that it shouldn't be seen as a negative thing because so they're having a peak concurrent of 52,000, or like over 50k basically every day, but like generally it's around 23, like it's like 20 to 25k players concurrently, which by the way is still really good. But people are saying this is, but obviously it's nowhere near the like 2 million concurrent players that it hit when it first came out, right? And everyone's calling it a dead game because of that. And so the community manager came out and said that in an interview, explains that it shouldn't be seen as negative. Buckley explained why they didn't see a problem with fans not playing Power World, even encouraging them to play other games. I don't think it's a service it services anyone to kind of push gamers to play the same game day in and day out. He outlined some games are designed to be played constantly, such as League of Legends and Dota 2, but feels like there's an influx of games that aren't designed to be played months on end, yet devs are still pushing their players to make it their one and only game. I don't think you need to be pushing yourself to play these games all the time. It's not healthy for us. It's not healthy for developers. It's not healthy for gamers. It's not healthy for gaming media. And it's not healthy for our industry. Yeah, and it's just like, it's nice to see someone being involved. It's like, yeah, our game isn't designed for this. You run out of stuff to do in Power World eventually, especially considering it's early access. And apparently, from what I can tell, the new update is great. You know, apparently the new update really hits it. But it's like one of those things where, like, yeah, some people played the game at the launch and said, "Man, this game is great. I might come back." And then, will they come back? Maybe, maybe not. But like, they bought the game, they gave the developers the money, and that's all the developers are asking for. It's not like the developers are selling skins and stuff, you know? So it's nice. It's fine. I guess is one of the reasons why I want to talk about this outcome is because it's nice to see a dev say, "Hey man, you enjoyed the game. That's all that matters. You don't have to come back." You know, it's not like they're trying to sell you, push more content and stuff. And I even say that because it's this update, it's still not even the final update. Like I honestly am a firm believer of a lot of people buy early access games, play the first couple, like they play it for 0 to like 5 hours, maybe more, and then the majority of players who really enjoyed the game, not the hardcore players that are going to be playing the game constantly all the time, but like a majority of players are like, okay, now I'm going to wait until 1.0, you know? Like, it's like, I think I'll really enjoy Power World, but I'm not going to play it until 1.0. Maybe I'll buy it because it's probably going to have a price hike when it goes to 1.0, but like, I'm going to wait until 1.0, until the game's done. Until whatever they determined 1.0 is. I'm sure they'll probably and still be updating it after that, probably. But like,
if they ever do,
if there's a 1.0 update, that's when I'll join. You know?
Gotcha.
And even for a game like that, you and I have been playing together 7 days. 7 days recently hit their biggest concurrent players ever when they did their 1.0 release, because everyone was waiting for the game to come out. It took them 14 years, but like they got there eventually.
People died waiting for that.
Yeah, literally. Unfortunately, it's one of the reasons why there's
the saddest. Yeah,
there's a item in 7 days that honors one of the players that really liked it.
Yeah. Devs, please get your games out there sooner. Stop taking decades to get this shit out there and make it fully done.
The 7 days guys are a unique case. Most people.
I'm looking at you.
Well, I mean, that's because they decided to screw everyone over and make a new game, and then sell DLC.
Oh yeah,
and they also sold DLC while in early access. Those guys are just. It's hard for me.
Did DayZ finally actually come out with a 1.0 patch or not yet? I'm wrong.
DayZ, I don't remember, honestly. I haven't paid attention to DayZ in a long time.
Me either. Like,
I enjoyed the mod. I never even bought DayZ standalone. I enjoyed the mod from Arma 2.
Wow.
But I was not into it enough to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
I enjoyed watching stuff about it. But that's also because I enjoyed the 20 minutes of the gameplay that I saw. But what I didn't see was the 6 hours of running around and nothing happening. That's the DayZ experience. But yeah,
literally just yeah.
All right, so Alchem, what did you want to talk about?
Okay, so gaming news wise, you know what? I wanted to bring this up because it's one of the series I like the most, and I recently saw that, so I thought I'd bring it up. And I just heard the actual. So there has been an update. At least it looks like it's the official. It looks official. So earlier today, and I was gonna wait on this until we heard something, but like I said, I just heard, so I now want to bring it up. Everyone here watching is familiar with the Five Nights at Freddy's series. You guys know it. You got Bonnie,
Oh,
Chica, Freddy,
yep.
Golden Freddy. The purple guy. The long-running series with multiple different little side stories.
And the
All
movie.
these different, yeah, exactly. Everything. There are VR games, the movie, the
Wait,
what's it called,
there's a VR
the
game?
Pizzaplex. Yeah,
I
there's a VR game.
I
There's
didn't
two.
I actually didn't know there was a VR game.
Yep, there's two. In
Oh.
fact, it got so popular, someone in VR chat actually implemented a pseudo version of the same kind of game. Not exactly
Oh.
the same, but it's
Interesting.
there.
Yeah.
And so Scott, not necessarily Scott Comp, but Scott Games posted out posted out something earlier saying keep an eye out for keep an eye. Let me get the it said it was just a single tweet, one sentence. Keep an eye on dot 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 someone's account today. Hmm.
Okay.
And the internet proceeded to make all their different contents. You had different content creators. You had different content creators
Hmm.
taking their guesses. People making memes saying, "Oh, that Fortnite update. The next Fortnite update's gonna have Freddy in it. Oh,
It
there's
would
gonna
be
be a
funny.
new they did all these different little funny things of like Freddy gonna be in Roblox, Freddy gonna be in Guilty Gear, Freddy's gonna be in all these different games, every
Smash
single
Bros.
one.
Smash Bros.
Yeah,
This is gonna
yeah,
be
the next
Smash Bros.
character for Smash. It was hilarious. People were making so many funny jokes, and finally, just now, uh, Dead by Daylight posted something an hour ago, or
Yeah.
I believe it was an hour ago, saying
Yeah.
that hey, 2025, summer 2025, we are collabing with Five Nights at Freddy's,
Yeah.
and everyone just thought, okay, they're joining the bandwagon. That can't be real, or maybe they're just playing around. But honestly, it seems very viable. It's Dead by Daylight
No,
after
no.
all,
It is
monsters and
Dead by
everything.
Daylight. I'm pretty sure.
Literally an hour ago, Scott Games retweeted it or reposted it. That's the
Yeah.
only thing they reposted besides a little sneak peek of like background for the movie where they're showing the animatronics being made.
Yeah.
So this everyone is now made to believe, or at least we all think that this is the official thing. So come 2025 summer, Dead by Daylight is going to have an update which will have one of the animatronics.
Only one?
Whether it's, I mean, well, we don't know.
It's got to
It could
be
be all of
Freddy,
them. I
right?
mean,
It's got to be
yeah,
Freddy.
it could be what they did with it could be what they did with Legion, where it's like multiple different characters. So they all do the
Okay.
same kind of kill animation and everything. So it could just be one animatronic, but it could be made
Did
to look
multiple
like Freddy,
skins.
Chica,
Okay.
Bonnie, or
I mean, to be
like,
fair,
could
they
just go with
do.
one
They
singular.
all are animatronics. So, like, what can you
Mhm.
really do differently with them? I mean,
Exactly.
other than the skin, other than
They'll
what they
jump
look
scare
like,
you to death.
that would be funny. I know there's a D&D
Like
thing coming out for
over
Dead by
5
Daylight.
days.
No,
Oh,
for
for Dead by
Dead by
Daylight.
Daylight,
Oh,
there's a D&D thing.
like damn the crossovers. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because, well, I always, even though I'm like scared of constantly of like scary games, it was always one that I really enjoyed. And while Dead by Daylight may not be my most favorite game, there's still a lot of flaws in that game, and they need to fix a lot of things. In fact, it seems one-sided for the killers, very much so. But I kind of am looking forward to finally having a killer that I would actually like to play a lot. Because
No,
honestly, I kind of didn't really have a thing for any of the killers in the game. So I'm
I've
gonna try it with
literally
the. Well,
never played Killer.
I always play. Yeah, I always played the. I usually play Survivor. Most of my
I'm
survivors are pretty leveled up.
I've literally only ever played with you and Kisu and Zeke. I've never played
Speaking of,
other than that.
when we do it next,
I mean,
I'm gonna throw that into
it's
Gauntlet.
gotta
Let's
be
go.
2025. We gotta do that whenever that comes out.
Yeah, 2025. We'll do it again. That's the next time.
That's the next time
Oh my
we'll
god.
play.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll throw that into the hat.
Yeah, it's got to be.
But yeah.
I wonder if they'll add any of the survivors, I guess, then too, because they generally do both, don't they?
You can play as Mike Schmidt. You can play as
yeah,
the first
like
security guard.
one of the security guards, and
yes, or you can be purple
funny.
guy. You could actually be the villain. Be the true villain was a survivor. Oh, that'd be a
funny.
neat twist. But yeah,
that
was my news, the gaming news for the day, because that was just something I saw, and it just happened to fall in line with what we're in the time frame of the
oh my
podcast.
God! Wait, Alchem.
What did you see? What did you see?
No, I just thought of something. The killer is one of the animatronics, but the survivor is Matt Pat.
oh my God, that would be
awesome. The survivor is Matt Pat.
Oh, that would be or so cool if Matt Pat gets to be one of those two.
It's like the survivor.
They have done two survivors.
Yeah, the survivor, the animatronics is the monsters. That one of the is Freddy or someone like that, and the two survivors is Matt Pat and Markiplier.
Oh, that would be so cool! I would definitely go for that. Just oh my God!
Honestly, I would. That would be like okay. I'm a huge D&D fan.
It's either of them, and they load up and they do their iconic intro.
Yeah, every time they load up.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. I got it. Okay, I'm good.
What's up, internet?
What's up, internet? That's a theory. A game. Oh my God.
When they when they die, when Matt Pat dies, he yells "Thanks for watching" as he's getting brought up. He goes as he gets brought up to that demon spider thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. I have 5 nights. Take notes. Take notes. Do this. You need to do this.
That'd be great. And I 100% know. I'm almost positive they'd both be down for that.
They would. I would assume both of them would like to be just base.
And it wouldn't, honestly, I think they're also the two, honestly, like, obviously I wouldn't know for sure, but they also seem like the type of guys that it wouldn't cost a lot for them to be okay with it. Like, obviously they'd have to get compensated somewhere because, you know, they're using their likeness and stuff, but, like, I don't think you'd have to break the bank to get them as well. Like, unlike some other people, too.
I mean, from what I remember, both of them were gonna be, or originally it was Markiplier who was gonna be the
Markiplier was
movie.
Yeah, both of them were gonna be in the movie, but the problem is that Markiplier's schedule just was too busy.
Yeah, he was doing one of the other movies he's doing, and then Matt Pat was available, and Matt Pat. Well, they were also gonna probably get Matt Pat.
They're probably gonna do both. They probably wanted both. The problem is that Markiplier is just he's a busy guy. He was. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was working on the other indie horror game movie. Oh God, I can't remember it now. Iron Lung. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, if they got Nicolas Cage in that game, then they're not being too serious about it. They can be goofy about it.
If Nicolas Cage is in that, if they can afford Nicolas Cage, they can definitely afford Markiplier and or Matt Pat with the Five Nights at Freddy's collab. I now am going to be so sad when this is not true because I'm almost positive this is not going to happen, and I'm very I want it to happen.
Probably going to just use.
I would buy them. Security guards. Look. I am a huge D&D fan, but even I don't like Dead by Daylight enough to buy the D&D stuff for Dead by Daylight. I would buy a Markiplier or Matt Pat thing for Dead by Daylight.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even play it. I probably wouldn't even play it. I'd play it with you guys, and that's probably it. I guess it also depends on how much it is, but like.
You just get it for the fact that they're there.
Just to hear the voice lines, I would want it.
Yeah.
Just to hear the voice
same.
lines.
Even I would be like, yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Oh my God. Right. I desperately want to see that intro. Welcome, internet, as you're spawning in. And then I definitely it's either the thanks for watching when you escape or when you die.
That would be so great. Just thanks for watching. Or Markiplier like, see you next time. Bye. And then just immediately leaves the stage. God.
Yep. It'd be great.
Oh, that'd be too good. But there's my
literally comedy gold.
It writes itself.
So, speaking of influencers being involved in projects, this is a great, even though this wasn't planned, this is a great segue. All right, Alchem. I'm pretty sure your answer to this, for this question. Actually, wait. I think you did. I was gonna say, have you played any tactical shooters?
Yes.
I think you and I played Valorant like twice, a long
Yeah.
time ago. Did you ever play Counter-Strike?
Yes.
Really? Did you like it?
Yeah, I used to play. I played with friends, so I enjoyed my
It's
time
true.
with my friends. more
Playing
than
with
anything.
friends is definitely the way to go for those types of games. I am a rare masochist when it comes to these games because I play solo
There's also
mostly.
there's also Rainbow Six, I guess.
Oh yeah,
counts as a tactical.
Rainbow Six definitely counts. Actually, funny
Yeah.
enough, you are braver than I, Alchem. I played Rainbow Six twice, and I said, and my exact response was, I don't think I want to play this game for 600 hours, and so I stopped. I was like, in order for me to understand this game, I need to put in like 100 hours, and I don't think I'm willing to take that commitment right now.
Gotcha. And yeah, you're right. It does take a while to understand
It,
the
it,
map
it,
layouts
I
and
was
what to use
so
your
confused.
characters.
I was so confused the entire time, and I'm like, I also come from like Counter-Strike. At the time, it was Counter-Strike. I don't think Valorant was out when I tried Rainbow Six, and I was like, I'm confused. I'm gonna go back to
You're
playing.
like, this ain't it, Chief.
I think my exact response was, I think I'm gonna go back to playing Overwatch. I'm gonna go back to playing Mercy. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because there is a really big fan of games like Counter-Strike and Valorant, right? It's this small content creator. He's known to be kind of good at video games, named Shroud, right? He's kind of good at video
Never
games.
heard of him.
Yeah,
Never heard of him.
Yeah. He's a small Canadian content creator. It's okay. He's been
do you know him because of?
Yeah, I know him personally. All Canadians know each other personally. So, Alchem, Shroud has been working on a video game. Not as a developer, as a consultant. Just to say, he's not a coder or anything like that. The game was 4 days ago. The game was officially announced, and the first gameplay and stuff was shown of this game, and it's called Spectre Divided. Now, first of all, the game's graphics, Alchem, it's like a cell shaded Borderlands style, not as exaggerated, but it's like a cell shaded Borderlands style. Honestly, really cool. The graphics.
Okay.
Looks pretty cool. It is a competitive attack and defend bomb based game mode primarily, but it is 3v3. Okay? It's 3v3 and there's heroes because, it's a modern game, so there's heroes with kits. The big thing though is there are 3 players on each team, but there are 6 agents on each team because each player controls 2 people.
Oh, right.
So, everyone controls 2 bodies, and the way you control it is that you take control of a player or a character, and you can throw this like disc thing, and you can get your guy to go over there, and you can swap bodies and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So they stay still.
They stay still. They crouch and stay still, and it will ping you if they hear something.
That's a next level of tactical shooter right there.
Yeah, and one of the bigger things is this game is like Counter-Strike, but aim down sights is a thing, and aim down sights is like the way to shoot. Like you're not like hip fire is very inaccurate. Like it's pure like just aim spread. Like there is no controlling recoil while not aiming down sights. So it's all aim down sights based. And it also uses the Counter-Strike like buying system where there's money and an economy in the game where kills and doing objectives and stuff gives you money and you buy equipment and stuff like that. And it's also the Valorant style where each character has their own kit with abilities and stuff, which you can buy. And yeah, it's just one of the more interesting things is, okay, you've played, this happens in any competitive shooter game, even in COD, where you die, and you said, if I had another chance to peek that angle, I would have killed that guy. In this game, You
this
can literally
game does that.
you can literally say, "Peek me again, I dare you."
Huh.
You know? And I think there is literally a video on Shroud's channel that I watch. It's him and two other of his friends who are pretty good at these styles of games, playing against three of the devs. And they do win. They do win, but
So I'm watching gameplay, and yeah,
it looks good, doesn't it?
Looks very promising.
Especially for how apparently it's pretty early in. It's pretty early in the development.
Also, in terms of aesthetics, I do like it.
It is very
like said,
it's Borderlands, but not as intense as Borderlands. It's the cell shadedness, but it's more like a manga cell shadedness.
Yeah.
Know? And they actually talk about, like, in there, they had this big developer thing where they talked about how, like, some of the influence was, like, manga style graphics or art in, like, Borderlands. And so, yeah, they're calling it the duality system because there's two people and you can control two people, so it's dual people. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it looks interesting. The only problem that I can see with this game is solo queue is going to be so bad. Because if you don't have two friends to play with this game, it's going to be so confusing playing without, like, a full team. Now, to be fair, it is 3 people, so, like, it's easy to get 2 friends to do this. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they've already said this game's going to be free to play. With, like, battle pass style stuff. Yeah, free to play, gun skins, battle pass, all that type of stuff. Skins can be gained through playing the game as well. All that type of stuff. Another cool thing is that the matches are short. It's 7 round halves. So it's first to 7, which is very short for this style of game. Guns are bought for both of the people. So do you remember the buying system in Counter-Strike?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, so each of the later, like, so the mid-tier guns, like the SMGs, shotguns, snipers, assault rifles, they have a anchor weapon as well. So when you buy like an assault rifle, your Spectre, which is the other person, gets a different gun. And they're attached to each other. So if you buy the AK, the Spectre always gets this gun when you buy it. Which is interesting. So they've, like, it's good. It sounds interesting because it's going to be part of the balance. Because, like, you can have, like, for instance, from the gameplay I saw, when you buy an op, when you buy the heavy sniper, your Spectre gets, like, an SMG. So if you die with the op on one of your guys, your Spectre, your other guy, doesn't have an op. Like, he has an SMG. So, to be fair, you could cover the op with yourself because you're close range. But, yeah, it's interesting. Also, you can do, like, other teammates can buy other guns for you. You can split the cost with teammates, apparently. But, yeah. And you can pick up guns and they're saved between rounds.
Oh yeah, it looks like they actually
Yeah, you can do that. So you can eventually have 2 people with, like, 1 player with 2 ops, if you choose so. But yeah, I mean, like, I'd be down whenever this game comes out. I'd be down to, if you and I can find another person to play this, I'd be down to try this out. But
sure, it looks really fun.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's like I said before, the main 2 concerns I have with this game is, how is the solo queue experience? If you don't have 2 players to play with, how are they going to deal with that? Because obviously voice chat has to be a thing.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, okay, how are you going to deal with people being toxic? Because with this type of game comes toxicity, right? Now, I don't want to honestly, I am in the camp of, I think like media and everything that does overplay how toxic these games can be. Because like don't find it very often to be toxic, but like the problem is that it's not whether or not it is toxic or not, it's what people think it is. So that's going to be interesting. And another thing is that they also said, I really disagree with something they said before, is that there's no over-the-top ultimates to act as an instant win button. And I wish the developer didn't say that, because it's just, I'm sorry, it's just not going to be true. Every game that has hero abilities eventually has something that dominates. So like it's just there's no way I'm sorry, it's just never gonna happen. You shouldn't have said that. Not because I don't think I believe that you believe that. I just disagree that you believe that. Because I mean,
it's good that you believe that.
Yeah.
But no.
Because Valorant also said there will never be an ultimate that kills people, and then a couple updates later, a character with an ultimate literally has a rocket launcher. Now, to be fair, that rocket.
What that does.
Yeah, I wonder if that kills people in the game.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it's actually the reason she's OP is not because of that, but you know, it's whatever. It's because of other things. The reason she was really good at the time. But yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting. I hope they do well. I'm interested to see. It's like I said, the pub experience is gonna make or break this game, because not everyone has one or two friends that are going to be okay to play with this game. You know, like you and I are are definitely the outliers that have a bunch of people that would be totally down to play this style of game. At least try it. Not a lot of people do. A lot of people hear tactical shooter and run away. You know, because like the games have not a bad reputation, but they have a very specific reputation. You know what I mean?
The skill slope is kind of daunting for some people.
Yeah.
Also, like the toxicity.
Yeah.
The perceived toxicity.
The perceived toxicity. It's not as, I don't think it, like, okay, I play Valorant on stream, and I've only ever had to deal with like really bad toxicity like maybe twice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm more scared of just people having too much fun and then they start saying words they're not supposed to. Because sometimes people get too comfy. Sometimes people get a little too comfy with each other when we're playing a game. Yeah. When random people get a little too comfy with each other, I'm like, guys, I'm not going to tell you I'm streaming, but please stop. Yeah. I'm sweating here. Whenever my team.
Are you streaming on Twitch?
Yeah, I would never tell them.
I'm sorry, I still always remember that one
TF2
video.
Yeah, that's true, that one TF2. I actually have people later, after I've played a game later in my chat saying, oh, I was your teammate, or I was the enemy guy. I don't know how they found out, because I literally never advertise it in the chats at all. So I don't know why they know. That was me. It wasn't you.
It was me. It was me all along.
It's not you, Alchem. They were too good to be you. Wrecked. Dad.
You think I show my true skill on stream? How dare you?
Yes, I do.
For the content. It's throwing for content.
I believe that you throw for content. I can't believe that you throw for content, but there's you know. When it comes to PC aim, I definitely don't think there's any purposeful throwing there. Though you and I still we did say that we were gonna play some shooter game together. I mean, this could be the game. To be fair, this definitely sounds interesting. Yeah. I'm at least interested. And
all right, Alchem. You peaked and died immediately. Don't do it again. Goes with my second guy and does it immediately again.
It's okay. I'll be honestly, Alchem, the difference between that is I expect that from you, so I'll be able to play around it.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm optimistic about it. I'm looking forward to it and optimistic about it. I do have a slight, like, there is another worry of like what does the casual, like, how does the casual player play this game? You know, like, there is a really big casual audience for games like Valorant, Rainbow Six, Counter-Strike. Like, what does that look like? And that's just gonna have to something that's unfortunately, like, we can't predict that. We're just gonna have to, when the game comes out, we're just gonna have to see how that goes. And I just hope they don't. I hope they don't try to, like, I don't know, like, pander to them if they get angry, because, like, if you're gonna be a hardcore game, then maybe, hopefully, that this is one of those games that has. Hey, look, maybe if these guys had 50K daily players, I'm sure they'd be happy. Unlike the Power World people, so yeah. I'm curious if this is going to be accessible on controller as well, because I know a lot of people do like controller, but I don't know how you're going to play this game on controller.
Probably will be able to, but
it's definitely
it
not going
won't
to
be
be
supportive
recommended
for it.
Yeah, it's definitely
It
not
probably
going to
won't
be
be
recommended.
super supportive for it. Yeah, it'll probably have better controller, better ease of access or use on PC.
Yeah. But other than that, one quick final thing. Speaking of controller, Valorant's on console now, which is interesting. So yeah, I don't own a console to play it, so I can't actually try it out. I kind of wanted I wanted to try it out.
Crossplay?
No. There's no crossplay.
Oh, okay. That's actually
I think the other consoles can crossplay with other consoles, but not to PC.
But not with PC.
And it's a separate and also, honestly, really nice of them. You can connect accounts. So if you you can transfer your skins and stuff over.
Okay, that's actually really clever and really smart.
If you play on console, you can have the same skins as PC, vice versa. Which is really nice of them. They didn't have to do that. They could just make you try to buy everything again, but no, they're like, no.
Yeah, because we got used to that.
Which is really
I'm glad they did.
Yeah. But yeah. Also, Alchem, you can sign up for the playtest if you want on
Spectre?
Yeah. What's the game called? Is it called Spectre? Spectre Divide. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, so you can sign up for the playtest. I think I already did, if I remember correctly. But yeah. But other than that, I'm all out of stories, Alchem.
All right, and so am I.
Yeah. So why don't you go do, unless you got any final comments on anything, you can go ahead and do the shoutouts.
Nope. Guys in chat, those watching live and those watching on YouTube, thanks so much for joining. My name's Alchem. I'm the little voice in the background, the little Tanuki VTuber here, the co-host of the podcast, who just rambles on about different games and all our different topics. If you guys ever want to catch me on my own streams, you can catch me playing games, rambling on for a while, and doing whatnot on Twitch, where I go live on Twitch and YouTube at twitch.tv/Alchem Games, or on YouTube. Well, actually, on YouTube, until we grow that channel, I'm not gonna try to say all the different jumbles of letters and numbers. But you can catch me on YouTube too, and you can also catch me on TikTok and Twitter, where I post random stuff and pictures and all that other nonsense. If you guys want to support me, you can always just sub, donate, whatever. I have a Patreon. I have a Throne, whatever you like. But yeah, more importantly, I just hope you guys come and enjoy. Yeah, and then here's my co-host Jelly. Take it away, Jelly.
Yes, I am the Techno Jelly. I stream on YouTube and Twitch on the Techno Jelly. This week is slightly different because of just stuff. So a video is coming out today for me, and I'm streaming on Tuesday and Wednesday and the normal Friday. But there's going to be stream on Tuesday normally, unlike my normal stuff. The videos will still be going out. Other than that, if you missed last week's podcast, it's already out on my channel. It was up yesterday, if you'd like to go watch it. Alchem and I talk about chicken nuggets and the fact that boneless, the term boneless doesn't mean anything anymore. And just a lot
That
of,
was
actually,
annoying.
it was a lot of food stuff. A lot of food stuff.
It was, but it was infuriating. The
it-
chicken nugget one was so.
It did lower both of our IQs because of the stuff we saw, and I don't know if we'll ever recover. But yeah, I am also on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok if you'd like to check me out on any of those platforms. If you want to hear the before scenes of this podcast, of me rambling to myself, you can go over to my Patreon and pledge any amount of money. And by any amount, I mean at least $1 Canadian, which, I mean, isn't that much money. So at the lowest tier, you can get access to all of the the podcast before the scenes of all of the episodes. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time on Two Buds, One Podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
Later, guys.